Do I look tired? Anyway, this is the part of the YouTube doesn't show you where two buffoons can't put a tire in a car. Okay. Hey man, let me get this. Okay, so I don't know where to start. So much fun. I love this hobby. Okay, so Mark, why isn't the air gun working?
Because you parked on the
Because I parked on the hood. All right, well, let's move the car again. Welcome to Tin Horse Restoration. I got a call this week from my good friend Wayne. And I was thinking about how I could, bring Wayne into the fold and make him part of YouTube and so that you guys could all meet him. And I get a call, it was actually last weekend. I get a call from Wayne and he says, I took my 73 convertible out of storage to bring it home to start driving it. And on my way back to the house, while I was on the highway, there was a drastic loss of power and white steam started coming out of the top of the carburetor. So he says, what do you think is up? And I said, well, Wayne, I said, I'm pretty much 99% sure you've blown a head gasket. So, for those of you that are very well versed in the operation of a 351 Cleveland, you know that, vaporized water coming up through whether it be coolant or water, coming up through the carburetor can only mean one thing, a cracked block or a blown head gasket. And it's the middle of July. Nothing froze on his way home. So I think it's fair to say Wayne blew a head gasket. That was my first thought anyway. So I did ask him a few questions. Wayne, when was the last time a nutter bolt has ever been turned in that motor? And he said, more than 25 years. Well, that pretty much did it for me. 73 351 Cleveland 2 valves with Edelbrock's and 4-barrel carburetor gasket sets. It's not something you can just phone the local parts store and say, oh yeah, I have them in stock. Well, maybe that happens in south of the border. You guys are lucky down there. But that doesn't happen up here. So I did some hunting, used my connections, and I wasn't having a lot of luck. 302s, yeah, no problem. 351s, it's a little bit different animal. So anyway, I gave him some tips and where to look for. I had to tell him what he needed, to be honest. I went through the whole process in my head. What am I going to need? Everything, because we're going to do the job. So that's where I'm going with this. I'm going to put on my cape, my Batman costume, and I'm going to go up and give my good friend Wayne, who I tell you, I'm going to use this opportunity to give you some back story in a way. I bought my 71 convertible back in 1999. I had a car that I had since '82, and I had been working on it, and I was going to start working on it again because I had been away from the hobby for a little while, and I thought, it's going to take me a long time to finish this car, and there was goals with the car and reasons for why I was doing it that I'll explain when we get into that video. But that's your little teaser. That's all you're going to get. So In the meantime, I thought, gee, it'd be nice to have a 71 to 73 Mustang to drive around in, right? I mean, it's a little bit easier to motivate yourself to work on a car when you've got one to drive. So I went out and I bought myself a 71 convertible that's now known as Marvin. We're working on a Marvin video right now that will go into the history of that. So you can look forward to that when it comes out. Anyway, I needed some parts for Marvin because the guy that I bought it off of had no clue about turning a wrench. He had just driven the car and had bought it from someone who had partially restored it, and kind of old school. We'll go through those too when we get to that video. But anyway, I needed parts. I think at the time we used to use Kijiji before Facebook Marketplace was became dominant, and Wayne had all these ads on Kijiji for 71 to 73 Mustang parts. So I met up with him. I bought what I needed from him, and we kind of hit it off the first time we met, and I kept his phone number, and we ended up becoming really, really good friends. And like all people in life, there's been some tragedies in our life and some things that we've had to deal with, and we've not seen each other as much at times, but the past few years, Wayne and I have really become close again. So and that's what happens with all friendships that stretch over a 25, 30-year period. You have highs and lows. And anyway, he calls me. I'm his go-to when he needs some advice about things that he's not 100% sure about. I mean, he's an expert in parts and all sorts of stuff like that. But when it comes to turning the wrench himself, that's something he started to do later in life. So he calls me, he says, "Can you help me?" Well, when you got a friend like that, and there's a brotherhood, and you share an interest and a passion like we do, of course you do. You put your Batman outfit on, and you get your sorry ass out to his place, and you help him. And he's done that for me, and it's been much appreciated. And now it's my turn to do that for him. So I'm in a couple of days. He called me yesterday, told me that he finally got the gasket set, was able to source it from a local shop, and I told him when I'd be up to deal with it. And in a couple of days, I'll be heading up to Wayne's early in the morning, and I'll be bringing some of my tools, and we're going to get that head gasket sorted out and get that motor back together and get Wayne back on the road. So that's it for now. Next time you see me, I'll probably be picking up some fuel at the local Tim Hortons on my way to Barrie, Ontario, which is about an hour and a bit north of Toronto in Ontario. So the province of Ontario. So I know for you Americans this is geographically challenging, but oh, anyway, it's about an hour. Well, in traffic nowadays, and the way the highway works, and there's so many people living in this area. What used to take 45 minutes to go from the city of Toronto up to Barrie now takes an hour and a half. So, anyway, that's where this is me starting this video off. And hopefully I'll have that thing apart and back together in a few days. And Wayne will be back on the road enjoying that beautiful car. So, I'm going to sign off for now, and in a few seconds, you'll see me jumping into action. All right. Well, good morning. As promised, I have my fuel, and I'm on my way to see Wayne, and hopefully everything's going to go well. Unfortunately, the weather forecast for today was good, but I don't know. That looks kind of blackish over there. I'm a little concerned. I said to Wayne, "Are we at least working in a garage today?" And Wayne was like, "No, we're working in a driveway." Do we have like a canopy or something to keep ourselves out of the sun? Um, Unfortunately, we don't have that luxury today. So we'll see how this goes. Uh, I'm optimistic. How's that? I'm looking forward to helping him today. So I like to be silly and fool around, but I have some goals today. I think our big challenge is going to be we're not going to get to those exhaust manifold bolts. That's my thought going into this. That not only are they difficult to get at, they've probably been in there for 50 plus years, so they're not coming out anytime soon. So we're probably going to have to try and undo the studs to the downpipes. He does have dual exhaust, so but if those are how I think they're going to be, we may have to cut them, and we'll just pull the heads with the exhaust manifolds on them if we can, and we'll see from there. But anyway, I'm going to sign off. I'm going to have my Timmies. It's just after 8 in the morning, so we're on our way there. And it takes about an hour and a bit to get there. So I'll see you shortly, and you can meet Wayne for the first time. All right. Talk to you soon. Well, we're heading up to Wayne's house. Those clouds ahead of me just don't look very healthy. When I left home, it didn't look healthy either. And then the sky cleared up and the sun was shining. And now I'm heading east, and we're back to don't look nice. I didn't bring a raincoat. Anyway, we're gonna be heading north soon, so I have a good feeling that because if I turn that way, it seems to clear up a little bit. So we'll see how things go. But in the meantime, just running through my head all the things I got to do. What do I got to do first, and where we might run into problems. And I think it's a good thing whenever you're working on a job, kind of run the whole thing through your head, one step at a time. Then you know where you're at and what you got to do. And there'll always be surprises and things that don't run perfectly, but it's good that you go in with a good general idea of what's first, what's second, and visualize the whole thing. Anyway, I'm gonna sign back off for now, and the next time I'm shooting content, we should be in Wayne's driveway. So let's cross our fingers that everything runs smoothly. Okay, I'm here.
Morning.
Say hi, Wayne.
Hi.
That's Wayne.
Wayne's got everything all set up for me here. And so the first thing I did was, I haven't even tried to start it, but I pulled the dipstick. And you can see I pulled the dipstick, and I don't know if you can see it on here because of the focus, but there's water on that. Let me see if I can try. No, you're gonna have to trust me. I can't get the focus in on it, but you can, yeah, right there. Water droplets. Okay. So,
Hello, how are you?
so we're gonna have to, we've definitely got a puddle down here at the bottom of the distributor. We've got oil that's coming from somewhere, and it doesn't look like it's leaking from the head. So that might be the intake manifold gasket. So we're gonna start to pull things apart, and I gotta set up the stick so that we can film this, and we'll go from there. I haven't tried to start it. I'm not even gonna bother because it's probably not gonna run. Didn't run the last time Wayne tried it. So I'll be back in a second once I get everything set up. All right, we're gonna get at her. We're gonna start taking things apart. Wayne's gonna give us a little history on the car. So go back to the beginning, Wayne, when you got the car. And
In 1999, I bought the car from the original owner. I think it had about 68,000 miles on it at the time. 351 Cleveland, 2-barrel. I put it away in storage because I had a 73 Mach 1 that I was driving. I put this away, the white one, away until I retired about 5-6 years ago. Brought it out, sold the Mach 1, and started to upgrade it. Upgraded it from a carburetor standpoint, 4-barrel, 4-barrel intake, paint job, interior-wise, got her running really nicely. And I enjoyed it. Put it away in storage last fall and pulled it out, drove it on the highway to bring it home, and it died. It kind of exploded a bit.
it just died.
Off to the side of the road, and the rest is history. I had to get it towed.
And that leaves us where we're at today.
It does. It won't start.
I'm getting rusty that I don't remember all my sizes. I can tell you, Wayne, coming up here was stressful.
Was it the road?
Well, all the
driving.
All the issues with trying to get here, and then I don't like people.
I think you told me that before.
There's too many people. Too many people, Wayne. Anyway, we're here now. So, you got a 1/2-inch socket?
Yes. That I do.
Okay, I've got the rocker cover off this side, and if you look down in here, that is water. No, I'm talking to the.
Okay.
That's water.
All right.
That's oil. That's water. And this one here that's not good. We don't even. Oh, wait a minute. For some reason, we've lost the rod. So hang on. Why is that rod out? Okay, we're going to take the other side off, and then we're gonna pull I got the bolts out of the intake manifold. We're gonna pull that up, and then we're gonna see what's going on with these lifters, because we got a rod that's
Loose.
oh, it's not loose now.
No,
It's gone now. She's down in the. She may have gone all the way. Oh no, she's got to be in the. Anyway, we got to find that rod that just flew.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, I'm on my way home. I'm sorry I didn't shoot more video. Let's just say this. We got the intake manifold bolts out. We pulled the rocker covers after we got the everything unhooked and stuff. So I was gonna pry the intake off, but what I noticed when I got the rocker covers off was that he had 3 lifters that had gone sour. There was a lot of water in there, coolant. To be honest, it wasn't that green. I did ask him if he had topped it up with water at some point. And he said he's pretty good with that stuff, and he doesn't think that's something that he would have done. That if he did top it up prior to the winter, he did it with antifreeze. So it is possible that was antifreeze I was looking at there. When it mixes with the oil like that, it turns milkshakey. It's hard to tell how green it is. So anyway, there was quite a bit. There was a lot in the tops of the head, sitting in the valleys and stuff. The dipstick was covered in water droplets. I think what had happened was, if it was the head gasket, I mean, look, water only gets in one of 2 ways. You either crack something or you've blown a gasket. It's pretty hard for water to get in some other way. Those are the 2 obvious ways. So it may just be blown head gaskets, but the problem now becomes, I think that water got pumped right through everything, right through all the oil journals. It clearly, we had lost 3 lifters, the hydraulic lifters, to water. They were no longer working, and the rods had fallen out. So one of the rods had found its way down into the intake, and the other 2 were just loose, sitting in there. So he had 3 valves down. That definitely explains the loss of power. We took a break. We debated what we had found, and we decided that motor's got to come out and be rebuilt. It's just too risky to swap out the gaskets and flush it and start it back up. We'd have to replace all the lifters because there's no telling how many of them have water in them. We'd have to drop the oil pan, clean it out. You got to lift the motor up to unbolt it to get that oil pan out of there properly. So how much water was in the oil pump, I don't know. At that point, you just say to yourself, look, it didn't look like there was any catastrophic damage that I could see. So the best thing to do was just stop what we were doing, and we're going to have that motor out. Now, the problem then becomes, me taking over that job and having to do it in the driveway there where he's got the car stored. He's renting a garage space at that house, and he's got a 73 Cougar in the garage. It's not a garage we can work in. It's not big enough. And hauling up the cherry picker and everything, it just doesn't make any sense. It's an hour there and an hour back for me. That's a couple of days worth of work. It's just not going to work. So, I did what I could today. It's almost 3 o'clock and I'm on my way home. So, I spent a good half a day up there. I think I did enough to answer the question as to, how serious it was. And we're going to leave it at that. So, in future videos, I'll keep you updated on, the progress of the car. And once it's running again, we'll shoot some video, maybe go for a ride in it, and then go from there. So, I wish I had a better story to tell you today. This is a real YouTube channel. There's no phony happy endings here, or will it runs that miraculously happen, or anything like that. This is wrench turning at its finest from an old fat guy, and trying to do his best. And I thought I'd share it with you because I wanted you to meet Wayne, and he's been a good friend for a long time. Unfortunately, I just didn't have good news for him today. But anyway, there's multiple ways to look at it. It doesn't look like anything catastrophic happened in there. That motor's probably savable. It just needs to come out, disassembled, checked, re-gasketed, put back together. I mean, I found oil sitting in the at the base of the distributor. There was oil leaking out of the back from what I believe was a rocker cover. There was oil spray on the water pump. I don't know where that was coming from. It's safe to say that most of the gaskets in that motor have seen better days. So I think it was a smart decision to just surrender and pull it out. And like I said, if that was in my driveway at my shop, and Wayne brought it down to me or whatever, I could slowly pick away at it and get it done for him. But I've got my own messes I got to deal with, and I don't think he wanted to dump that on me. And he wants to be driving that car as soon as possible. So he's got a connection with somebody else, and he's going to get that person to look after it. And we're going to come up and in a future video and show all the happy smiley faces, maybe take you for a drive. All right. So that's it for this video. I'm going to sign off, and I hope you enjoyed it. I'm sorry the content wasn't better, but I hope you learned something. If you have a problem with your motor, turn it off right away. Don't play around. If Wayne hadn't tried to keep going, he could have done some serious damage to that car. So always keep that in mind. Trust me, I just went through that with the Coyote. You're gonna be watching that in another video. So you got a problem like that, shut her down as soon as possible. It is better to err on the side of caution. It's like he said to me, he goes, "What are we gonna do if I got a cracked block?" And I said, "We're gonna find a 351 Cleveland donor." I said, it's not easy. Now, it just so happens that the Cougar that he's got for restoration sitting in the garage it is a 73, and it does have a Cleveland in it. but right now Wayne's car's matching numbers, and you know, I'm sure most of you know what that is. For some of you that don't feel bad. Matching numbers is there's a serial number stamped on the block, and it matches the serial number stamped on the body of the car. So and on the VIN. So you know, matching numbers is worth more money. Yeah. Okay. That's another video. Yeah, we'll talk about that, because I start to get really testy when, you know, matching numbers start costing more than $50,000. So there you have it. That's today. I won't drag out the ending. Thank you for watching. If you got this far, you're my hero. You truly are. I hope I inspired you to something. Even though I wasn't successful, I hope you learned something. And I've been told I have to ask you to like, which is, you know, that little thumb that you see it underneath the heading for this. Click on the thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. You know, share, copy the link, and send it to anybody that you think might be interested in watching these videos. And please subscribe. Okay, so the goal is, I mean, clearly, I'm not here to make $1 million. But it would be nice if I could get monetized and I could make this channel profitable to some degree. You know, even if it paid for itself, that would be a wonderful thing, because right now these episodes cost me money and I'm not making any money. So yeah, I mean, I want to turn wrenches. I want to share that with you. I want to you know, inspire you, and you know, the only thing I need you to do is click a couple of buttons, and someone else will look after the money side of things. So please like, tag, share, subscribe, and we'll see you soon.